Hi everyone, this is Barry. I'd like to use this opportunity to show you how to do section 7.7 number 41. I'd like you to pause for a second and make sure you read the problem carefully so you understand the context, and then you can come back here and we'll start here. In this problem, we have an interest problem. So the formula you need to understand is the simple interest formula. I have it written down here, I equals PRT. Also, you might notice that you need to know what each letter represents. I is the interest amount that you earn on a particular account. P is the principal amount that you put into an account, such as you invest 1,000 or you put in $5,000 into an account. R is the interest rate, but it's always to use decimal to calculate. So 2% would be 0.02, 10% would be 0.1, etc. Time is talking about how long you put into the account and is always measured in year. I like to show you just one simple example of how this is calculated. So for example, if you have invested $1,000 in a 5% account for 3 years, then the simple interest that you will earn would be 1,000 times 0.05, that's the 5%, and then you times that by 3, and that will give you the total interest amount that you will earn. Okay? Now that you understand the setup a little bit, I'd like to start talking about this problem. Once again, I is equal to PRT. Notice that in this problem, RT is 1 because we're talking about at the end of 1 year. Okay? So essentially, we have I is equal to P times R. I'm going to isolate the P because that's where my rational equation come in. And you might wonder, like, why am I doing this? Now, wait a second and you'll see. So the question say bond's interest rate is 2% higher than the credit union rate. Okay, so to start, I'm just going to define my variable. So the question asks you to find both interest rate. So I'm going to say let X be bonds interest rate. Okay, and I'm going to talk about this is in decimal notation. Okay, it will just make your calculation a little easier. Then if that's X, then X minus 0.02 will be the credit union interest rate, right? Again, why did I do 0.02? Because I'm using decimal notation and it was told that we were told that it's 2% higher. So the credit union rate will be X minus 0.02. Okay, so now what do we have here? We have one, the bonds account, right? We know that principal is equal to I divided by R, right? So we don't know the principal, but we do know that the amount of interest that we have earned in this account was $300 that was given to us. And then what is our rate? Well, we have set that to be X. Of course, you could have set that equal to R if you had liked R better, okay? Now, what about number 2? Credit union. We have another equation. We don't know the principal, right? And we have this I over R equation. So we know that the principal should be the interest amount, which is 200, divided by the interest rate, which in this case is X minus 0.02. Okay? Now, why is this useful? Because you do know that the principal amount in both accounts are the same. So that tells me that these two expressions should equal to each other, these two, right? Principal in bonds account is the same as principal in the credit union account, okay? Now, we're going to go to the next page and I'm going to set them equal to each other, and that's your rational equation. Okay, so what do we have? We have 300 divided by X is equal to 200 divided by X minus 0.02. Now remember now, These 0.02, these decimal, these are the interest rate. So when I get X, it should be some kind of decimal as well, okay? And then I just need to change that into a conversion of percentage. Now notice that we only have one fraction on each side. You could just think of it as solving for proportion, which tells me that I can just do a cross multiplication. 300 times x minus 0.02. Sorry. Having trouble with this pen here. 0.02. Oops, sorry. 0.02. Different color comes up. I'm sorry. It would just be easier if I don't change it now. Equals 200 times x. Okay? So now your job is to just solve for x. So we have 300x minus 300 times 0.02, right? That's 2% of that. Now think about it. 10% of this would be 30, right? 1% would be 3. So 2% of this would be 6. Does that make sense? Okay. Now I have a simple linear equation. I'm going to move the 200x over here by subtracting. And I'm going to move that 6 over here by adding. So I have 100x is equal to 6. And now I'm going to divide both sides by 100. And x is equal to 6%. Okay. So once you figure out, remember this is the bonds account, then you will know the other account interest rate, which is 4%. And I apologize that I'm not so good with these pen here, but I hope that makes sense. Thank you.